Hi, I'm Victor Dwyer, and today I'm with Krishna at Trellis, and we're gonna ask some questions about Amazon advertising and kind of go into the weeds of some platforms. And he's gonna go an overview of himself, of what his company does, and kind of go from there. So yeah.
Sounds good.
Great
nice
to have you
meeting
on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd love to hear a quick intro about you and your company and things like that.
Trellis is a demand generation platform, and we use advertising automation, and we have built algorithms that really allow you to take things beyond ROAS. Things like demand generation through full funnel targeting, things like dynamic promotion and relegation, where if you have a big catalog, how do you manage a big catalog through advertising?
Sure.
And we have built in a video editor that allows you to build videos using either your content or images or snippets
Wow.
of video that you can then use to advertise on Amazon.
Wow.
My background, about 10 years of building e-commerce analytics solutions, pricing intelligence, digital shelf platforms, and now onto advertising automation.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to the platform itself, so it sounds like it has a level of optimization. Does it have an AI component when it comes to optimization? Can you go into some in-depth things when it comes to how is the platform optimized?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
are some automations you have set up in the tool
So
and things like that?
when we started this business, Amazon was doing about $2 billion in advertising revenue.
Wow.
Today, Amazon does $21 billion through advertising.
Yeah.
And this is people clicking, whether they're choosing to buy your product or not, this is people clicking.
Yeah.
And as that has gone on, there's a lot of ineffective ad spend. Almost 32% of money that's spent on advertising is wasted on wrong strategies and whatnot.
Yeah,
So we kind of
totally
we said, yes, optimization is part of the story,
Yes.
but the journey starts a bit before that. If you think about it, if I'm a shopper looking to buy something, first and foremost, I may not even know I'm ready to buy yet. That's the awareness stage of the funnel.
Yeah.
All the way to I know exactly what I want to buy. And when I search that, I search very differently on Amazon. And what we have done is we can look at your product, we can look at who your competitors are, and we apply natural language processing and AI to come up with what we believe is the best way to intercept a shopper on Amazon, whether they're ready to buy or at the early stage of the funnel. And then we have AI and machine learning that understand how much are we willing to pay for each stage of the funnel. That's where we bring in our optimization. So our goal really is, how do we first and foremost get you demand for your product? And when we get you demand, at what price point do we want to get you that demand at? And if you do those two things right, your ROASes and ACoS optimizations all play out.
Sure. Yeah, I totally agree. And I'd love to go into the sponsored brand video strategy because that has been really killing it for a lot of clients when it comes to breaking up the sponsored brand videos and really just doing a lot of split testing. We do a lot of that. So I'm interested to get your thoughts on how your video editor works, how you apply that to your tool, and how you utilize sponsored brand videos.
So we have hundreds of customers on our platform, and one thing we realized was people wanted to do video ads, as they're very effective in terms of their conversion rate, because people tend to watch and then click versus other places when they're not yet sure and they may click on an ad. With video, there seems to be a better conversion rate, though a bit expensive. Then we got into a situation where a lot of our customers did not have the assets to be able to build these videos. They had images, they had maybe a 10-second, 5-second snippet of their video, what have you, but they didn't have the ability or the know-how to build the video. So we have integrated a video editor on our platform. Comes with predefined templates. There are 6 templates. You can pick any one template. You can give us your brand logo. You can give us some assets, whether it's images, small snippets of video, and we stitch an entire video together for you. And everything is rendered by this system, is ready in 3 minutes, and you can advertise on Amazon with it. Really, really simple. One of these days we should do a demo, and I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. And what we're seeing is, on one side of the spectrum are smaller brands that don't have necessarily the money to go and get a video done professionally. On the bigger side of the brand, we see a slightly different challenge. We see media assets tend to be owned by the marketing departments, whereas these Amazon business is held by the sales department. So there is a need even in that space for these the seller side of a big brand's business to be able to change videos rapidly to do A/B test, as you said. And what we have done is we have the ability to build custom templates for a brand like Bose or a Unilever or what have you, which has been blessed by their marketing departments, and you're able to try different messaging.
Cool.
And that allows you to do A/B test. Within 3 minutes, your video is ready to go to Amazon and whatnot.
Yeah, because right now, basically, we have to send it to my graphics design, my video team, and we have to edit each particular video to do everything right now.
Yes.
So it'd be nice to have that all in one tool where we could just add things into the video editor.
Yes.
And once we catch on to, because there are certain optimizations we can make that really catch the audience's attention to make an engaging ad, and we can apply that template to the rest of our clients and to the rest of their products.
Correct. And it really makes it super simple to do that, run those experiments and whatnot.
That's great.
For sure.
And I guess, what happens if a brand has a lot of video assets? Are you able to combine those as well in your tool?
The way it works with our templates is you can upload all the video assets you have. So let's say you're selling a camera, and you're a Sony, you're selling a camera, you have your big video library. I mean, we don't recommend you come and upload your entire terabytes of video library, 20 terabytes into our system. We don't recommend that. But within the constraints of if you're trying to advertise the Sony camera on Amazon, we recommend you upload any video assets you have, pick the templates we have, or request a custom template from Trellis, and then we'll stitch the right pieces together. The software will stitch it together for you based on the assets you have uploaded and what you want to showcase to your shopper.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's great. That's really cool. What type of method do you see works the best? Like, what are you seeing with the sponsored product, sponsored brand video, sponsored display? Is there a particular section where brands need to start guiding more budget to that you are seeing that's working effectively right now?
You know, when we look at this problem, we kind of ask ourselves a slightly different question. We ask ourselves, why are you advertising in the first place, right? Sure. Not every brand is looking to advertise for the same reason. Some brands are looking to grow their business. We have customers who are, Sony may be fighting with Nikon for the camera keyword as an example. And there are budget constraints on trying to acquire a new to brand customer. There are constraints on protecting your own brand. So we start by asking ourselves, why is somebody advertising first? And depending on what your objective is, then we can start to say, okay, here is what we think will work. So if I'm looking to grow my brand, there I can use sponsored product, I can use sponsored display, I can use video advertisement. I may shy away from sponsored brand because the conversion rates there are not as high.
Sure.
But if I'm trying to build brand awareness, I may choose to do sponsored brand advertisement. So it depends on what your objective is, but video does convert, a bit more expensive, but the conversion rates justify it. And we really recommend, our software does it. If you tell us you have a Sony camera and that's what you want to advertise, we will figure out how are shoppers searching for those products, what competitor products make sense for us to advertise on, and how are shoppers shopping a category. If I buy a Sony camera, the odds are I'm going to at some point buy a light that goes with it. So we understand what's going on and try to address each stage of the funnel differently. And then if you bring that methodology to it, it's surprising you can make all ads work as long as you know why you're doing it.
So do you have to set up those funnels? Are those funnels set up automatically? Like, let's say, will it recognize if someone buys a Sony camera, they buy the Sony add-on? Will it recognize that, or is that something you would set up in the tool?
No, our AI goes and figures all that out. When you tell us what you're advertising, our AI then takes your product, tries to understand who your competitor sets are, try to understand what are the adjacent categories that we're going to go after, and it then sets up the entire ad system to start to optimize it, harvest it, discover stuff and whatnot.
That's really cool, actually.
It is really, really cool. We are very proud of what we have built. We've been hard at it. We are from Canada, and we are known for building cool technology. We're known for building cool
and being nice.
And being nice. And sometimes.
I want to get your thoughts on the increased cost of Amazon ads, because we're seeing like 10, almost sometimes 20%
100%.
increases per month going up to Q4.
Yes.
So what are some good ways that you're seeing how to counteract that and things like that?
You know, as we started in the initial stage of our conversation, when something goes from $2 billion to $21 billion, there are a lot of folks with deep pockets that are spending money on advertising.
True.
But here's what we have learned. If there are times when some of our customers run ads with $20, there are times a day, and there are people who run $2,000, $3,000, $10,000 a day.
True.
And no matter how deep your pockets are, I guarantee you everybody runs out of budget on Amazon.
Yes.
Everybody does, right?
Yes.
And there is a tendency sometimes to bid based on what Amazon recommends and what have you. When we look at utilizing budget and making sure we are staying competitive, we ask ourselves the question of how long should I serve an advertisement?
Yeah.
If I can serve an ad for 18 hours, a productive ad for 18 hours in a 24-hour period, I can do some very good stuff with it, right?
Yeah.
And where should the bid be to achieve that serving goal?
Sure.
Then suddenly what the system has done is it optimized for sales, it has optimized for what your budget is, and it's making sure it's serving as long as it can. So let the aggressive people play it out.
Yeah.
Sometimes people run out in the morning, sometimes people run out in the afternoon. Let the, what I call, I want to be respectful to everybody, but there is the easy money. Let the easy money drain out.
Yes.
Let the easy money drain out. And it's surprising how well you can do if your product has some sales momentum going. It's surprising you don't have to be the top bidder all the time to get the right spot and whatnot.
Yeah.
So my recommendation is, no matter what, going into Q4s, people are going to spend more. Stay focused on running your ad within your budget for the right time for a day. And it's surprising how effective you can be.
So your AI is actually day parting? Is what it's
we don't do day parting.
Okay.
We do a slightly next version of day parting where we are trying to say, where is the right bid points where I don't give up my impressions, but I'm serving for 18 hours.
Got it.
Right?
So,
we don't want to live in a world where I'm turning off my ads or I'm penny bidding that.
True.
That's one way you can achieve it, but I think there are better ways to do day parting, and that's what we do.
Yes, that's really cool. How do you exactly set up your campaigns? I'm curious on your campaign structure.
Yeah.
And maybe the AI does it. I'm not sure.
I'll,
Do you typically do a product by product campaigns, or do you typically structure it differently? I'm curious.
So it's a very interesting question and a very complicated one.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example of you may be selling one product on Amazon, and let's say you're running a demand generation ad on our platform. That demand generation ad will translate into 2 campaigns on Amazon.
Yeah.
One, what we call our discovery campaign, where we have done the analysis, we have figured out what keywords, which competitor products we are going to go after. Our AI figures all that out and sets up one of those campaigns. Then we also start up an Amazon auto campaign to see if anything we miss, we're going to be harvesting from it all the time, right? So that's a very simple single product, what we call a media plan on our system. If you run a media plan, may translate into 2 campaigns in a simplistic way.
Yeah.
If you have, say, 100 products, you're selling rugs as an example. Typically, rug vendors have collections, and each collection can have 50 or 100 products in them.
Yeah.
So you can start up an ad in our system where you put all your 100 products into one ad. And then what our system does is it's smart enough to understand which of your products in a catalog are performing, which ones are not performing. And it will start to create these partitions. Suddenly you have a high performing partition, a medium performing partition, and a low performing partition. And these are all campaigns that the system is now creating on Amazon. And then the system, based on the data, starts to promote and relegate. So it will take something that is performing very well in a low performing partition will be moved to a mid tier, will be moved to a high tier, and things that are not performing in the high tier, we may start to relegate them downwards. So it's constantly looking at data and changing how it's going to move products to get your catalog the most exposure, and the campaigns are there only to support that. So one media plan on a system may translate into 6 or 7 campaigns on Amazon based on what strategy you're deploying with that platform.
So that's interesting. I've heard of like using keyword harvesting to take auto and really transferring keyword between campaigns, but it's the first time I've ever heard transporting products between different campaigns.
Correct.
That's interesting.
And there are many firsts we are doing, and I was doing a presentation here at the show, and it's coming to a point with Amazon advertising where the days of purely trying to optimize for ROAS or ACOS are gone, right?
True.
If you're gonna play that game, it's gonna be always hard to stay up with all these optimizations. We think you need to start to bring higher order bits where you're starting to understand how to target the entire funnel, right? Funnel is not only people searching for things. So if I'm looking to buy a couch, I may look for a sofa. I may look for a black leather couch. I may look for a black upholstery couch, what have you. Each stage of this funnel is never going to convert at the same conversion rate.
True.
Somebody looking for sofa is not ready to buy yet, but some are. Some are, and if you know what conversion rates are playing out, you just have to figure out what is the right bid for it in
True.
some ways, right?
Yeah.
So that's just how we look at the full funnel targeting and how to map your keywords to funnels, what we're going to bid for it. And then same thing plays out in categories. So if you're running display ads, how do shoppers shop different categories? How many times does somebody buying lipstick is going to buy mascara? As an example, right?
Yeah.
We try to understand the shopper behavior and deploy our display ads to meet that criteria.
Cool.
And then, so that's around full funnel targeting. Then what I described to you earlier with rugs, which we call a dynamic relegation and promotion mechanism, is AI now playing at a different level. It's not a simple ACOS optimization alone. ACOS and ROAS optimization is just one small part of the bigger strategy deployment that we are doing. And then we have these things called composite media plans, wherein for bigger brands, if some of your viewers are bigger brands, you get into a world where you have, for a same product line or a collection, you have brand awareness objectives, you have brand protection objectives, you have new to brand customer objectives, you have a bunch of objectives. How do you bring consistency to that? So you can build these dynamic templates in our system where you can say, if I'm Sony, this is how I want my media plans to be deployed in US, in Canada, in India, God knows where, right?
Yeah.
Bring consistency to the entire thing and being able to move your budget between these objectives in a fast, dynamic manner. So there are these higher order objectives that we think where we excel at and our platform excels at.
Cool. That's great. That's great. Is there anything else that you think your platform really stands out with compared to others, or anything else you want to talk about there?
I think, as I said, if you are looking to do video advertising, we are
that's really
the leaders in that space. If you are looking to advertise with purpose and with strategy, whether you are a big collection, whether your product line is big, your catalog is big, or a single 1-2 product customers. In any of those situations, I think we are the only ones who bring these full funnel targeting mechanism, demand generation, product launch goals. We're the only ones who bring that to the table. If that's what you're looking for, we will be a pretty good fit.
That's great. Cool. Anything else that you wanted to mention about your tool?
No, I think we touched upon almost everything.
Cool. That's great.
Everything.
That's great. Yeah, thanks for coming on.
The pricing is all on our website, gotrellis.com, and come talk to us. We have one of the best customer support success team in the industry. We are very
they're
proud
from Canada,
of it.
probably.
Yes,
so,
proud
there's
to be
nothing
part of
better
being
than
in Canada,
support.
I guess. We really take pride in our customer success team. I think we are pioneers in how well we do that there. And our platform is really cutting edge and industry leading in how it looks at solving these problems. So.
Cool. That's great. Thank you so much for coming
Thanks,
on.
Richard. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Cool. Boom.